Alright, VC, as I've mentioned before, I'm on an extended vacation and freaking loving it. This is first real full day of it. You have to get through the weekend, Christmas shopping and all the bullshit. But house is empty and I've been cranking it all morning, stereo's rolling. Working on, putting together another long video episode, whatever you want to call it. But it might get a little out of hand because I'm going to be filming. I got a feeling a good little bit here, I'm hoping. I filmed a cube of alternative, and I was going to slice it into the next video, how I have been doing the last couple. But it might get a little out of hand, might be too long. So I'm just going to put that full video here together. If you'd like to see a cube of what I call alternative from back when I was younger, check it out here. If not, see you in the next video. A little later. Alright, BC, we're going to look at a cube of alternative, is what I call it. Just like late 80s up into the mid 90s. This is stuff like from my college years and that kind of thing. And some of the stuff, most of it I had on CD back in the day. I wasn't buying as much vinyl during the college days. It was CDs, just for ease of transporting and all that kind of thing. So, but anyways, enough of that. Let's just jump into it here. What's playing in the background? Last Crack, Sinister Funkhouse 17. Band from Minnesota, I believe. This is like from 1989. Found this not long ago. Had the CD when it first came out and was just happier than shit to find this vinyl. Actually, this is probably the only copy I've seen on vinyl. And snagged it up real quick. Alright, kind of get started here. And like I said, I haven't went through the cube or anything. Just kind of moved it all to one side, and there's going to be stuff in here I totally don't remember, but we'll find out as we go. 63 Eyes. This was a band from Morgantown, West Virginia. Pretty much the area I went to college at. And funny enough, I found this at Yesterday and Today in DC, which Yesterday and Today was a legendary record shop run by Skip, who basically helped Minor Threat and all those guys, Discord, get going. Alice in Chains, Jar of Flies, and Sap. This is an original. Found this at a record show, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. Other than the huge, sticker on the front, but oh well. Big Chief. Totally don't really remember this. Remember the band. It's on Get Hip from 1991. That may be better put in a garage section, but I can't remember right now. The Big F. I can't say enough about this album. If you've never heard the Big F, especially this album, their debut, check them out, man. It's a couple guys from Berlin, if you remember that band, kind of the cheesy 80s band. Good band though, with Terry Nunn and all that. But this is heavy, man, and it's the late 80s, 88 or so, leading into that alternative of the 90s, and this just smokes, man. Definitely on my list of top 100 albums ever. Another copy. Bishop's Friends Band. I think I just showed that. The Buck Pets. Pretty cool band. This was their first album. Just remember there's a song on here called Iron Cock. Don't know why, but I remember that. And this was the big one, the Curatones. This had Pearls and Libertine, Avenue F Blues, and all that. Just amazing band. I really, really dug this band back in the day. You can see I paid $2 for this. The Cure. Not a Cure fan, but I grabbed a couple and I just kind of slapped them in here. They could probably just go in the 80s section or something. Curved. Doppelganger. Kind of, if I remember right, kind of that shoegaze kind of stuff. The lighting isn't all whacked out here. Das Daman. What was this on? SST. I saw Nirvana at the old 930 Club before Nevermind come out, and this band opened up. Cool band. Dinosaur Jr. Without a Sound. I think this is an original. I'm not a huge Dinosaur Jr. fan either, but I do like this album. Found that at a record show. Doughboys. I don't remember this album as much as this album. Happy Accidents. It's just a good, that alternative, heavy deal. I don't know what to call them. They were a good band. Faith No More, Introduce Yourself. We all know Faith No More. It's amazing. And The Real Thing. Until Nevermind came along, this was probably the album of that generation. I would be my pick anyways. This was so goddamn big. You could not get away from this band. I saw them in right when this album first came out, before it really hit. I saw them in a bar a couple times, and within 6 months, you know, they were playing Reading and just all the big festivals and huge tours all over MTV, all over TV, and it was just a massive album. Live at Brixton Academy, Faith No More. Flowerhead, Kabloom. I had this on CD forever. Got a package from Brother Mibber, who sends the some of the best VCLT in the VC. Sent this. I've never seen this on vinyl before or after, and thanks again, Mibber. I totally love this album. The Fluid, Sub Pop. Can't talk about alternative from this era without talking about the early Sub Pop stuff, and this was one of the bands. Man, Sub Pop up through 92, 93 was just, most of the stuff come out on that label was just fantastic. And then they got, I don't know, they went in a whole different direction, which is cool, you know, new generation, whatever, but they just kind of lost me and I don't pay attention to them anymore. Foo Fighters, Wasting Light, everybody knows them. Live Green Day, that was a Christmas present from a year or two ago from one of my daughters. Green River, this is an original, Dry as a Bone on Sub Pop. If you don't know Green River, I'm sure most people watch this video do, but if you don't, this band basically split and turned into, half of them went to Mudhoney, half of them went to Pearl Jam or Mookie Blaylock. Green River, Rehab Doll, another an original. And for my money, the best band on Sub Pop, the best grunge band, whatever you want to call them, would be Mudhoney. Sorry, getting ahead of myself there. Jade, don't remember this, but I think they were local. Yep, Merkin Records out of Baltimore. I can't really remember what this sounds like. I haven't heard this forever. But Merkin Records. If you don't know what a Merkin is, looking up. You watching, Amber? The First Jane's Addiction. Loved this album. Sadly, it hasn't aged very well. This one, and Nothing Shocking, but still groundbreaking at the time. I still need a copy of Nothing Shocking. Here's an OG of Ritual. It's a gold stamp promo, and that was the cover that was banned, whatever. But to be honest, I saw this cover more than I saw just the plain white wrapper cover. Leaving Trains. Kind of, it's on SST, kind of was checking these guys out for a while. I don't remember a lot about them. Falling James, I remember reading about him and wanted to check him out more, and picked up a couple albums. And it was cool, but it didn't, you know, Knock my socks off. Lords of Acid. No, this was just a cheap find. It was like a couple songs, different mixes and all that crap. Mind Over 4. This is one of those albums, man. It totally blew my mind when I heard these guys. To be honest, I don't know a lot about them, and I don't want to know a lot about them. All I know is this album is perfect. And I had it on CD forever, and I ran across this for $5. And it's actually a German pressing, and I couldn't believe it, and grabbed it and couldn't buy it fast enough. If you've never heard Mind Over 4, they're kind of in there with Last Crack, just kind of odd, but amazing. And I believe that's also like 88, 89, something like that. And that was their next album. They had another album called Princess, is that right? I can't remember now. This album's okay. It's just this one. This perfect album. An original Mother Love Bone Shine. Still need a copy of Apple. Need an original. An original Super Fuzz Big Muff Mudhoney, and this is the band for me that the perfect grunge band. This was what it was all about for me back in the day. And here's a reissue, and here's what I believe is an original. Had the CD, you know, not long after it came out, and found this probably 4 or 5 years ago, but I think it's an original. It's on like a gray marble. If anybody knows, let me know. Sub Pop. I've never really looked it up. Sometimes I need to do more research. Nirvana Bleach. This is the reissue thing from not long ago. It has a bonus disc with some live stuff and all that. Very well done. And along with the first Mudhoney, this is the #2 grunge album for me. I had it on CD. There was a little shop in the town I went to college at. Sold all the Sub Pop stuff, so I bought the CD at the time. Then they got signed to a major and released this. I had to special order this when it come out in '91. Had to special order the CD. Nobody knew who Nirvana was. I was out of college at the time, and none of the local places at home had it. This is a reissue from a couple years ago. And man, I gotta say, I can't listen to this album anymore because it's just been played to death. But I sat down with this reissue and just put it on and just was going to play it and do some stuff. I ended up sitting in front of my stereo for this whole album. It sounds so freaking good on this reissue. Blew me away. And that's kind of where Nirvana ends for me. I don't have In Utero. I kind of, like I said, I saw them right before this come out, and In Utero, I don't know, I just didn't bond with, and they got too big. I was young, and you know, for on the radio, I don't like them, you know, and that mentality and all that crap. But Paul, I think these guys were from Portland, Oregon. Just a cool alternative band, 90s kind of thing, heavy. First Pearl Jam reissue. I loved this album when it came out. You know, it was just a good rock album to me. And here's a bootleg. My wife is a huge Pearl Jam fan, so I pick up little odds and ends like this when I find them. I do have more Pearl Jam. They're just not on the shelf at the moment. I have the new one, the last couple, I think, actually. Porn Orchard. I just barely remember this band. Kind of noisy, if I remember right. They were on CZ Records, 91. Primus, Frizzle Fry. This band blew my mind when I first heard this. I mean, it was like, how does a dude play bass like that? Loved this era, the first couple albums, you know. I kind of lost it after that for me, but you know, Frizzle Fry and Sailing the Seas of Cheese, those were great. Quicksand Slip, massive album, just heavy, so freaking heavy. A couple guys from Gorilla Biscuits, New York hardcore band, I think. But this thing is just full of riffs and just really, really good album. If you never heard Quicksand, especially this album Slip, check it out. Quicksand, Manic Compression, another good album. I think this was the second one, and I like Slip better, but this is not far behind. Rage Against the Machine. I believe this is original too. I'm not positive. Went to a Lollapalooza. See Alice in Chains and Primus, and these guys were opening, or early on the bill anyways. I had no idea who they were. They come out and started playing, and I think half the crowd didn't know who they were, probably 90%. And about 5 minutes into the show, it just exploded and was like just a madhouse. Just, the crowd went insane. The next day I went and bought this on CD, and still one of my favorite albums. And this album and the next one, it was cool, and after that, kind of lost it with them. REM, not a big REM fan. I run into all these like in one shot, I think, for a couple bucks a piece, so I picked them up. And like I said, just not a big REM fan. So that's Cube. And there's only a few more left. Stuff like Smashing Pumpkins, Sonic Youth, Soundgarden, just your typical. That's it. That's a cube of alternative.